Polygamy, Part 36. After Nita finished explaining herself, still trying to defend her mother's absence with a trembling voice, the king raised his hand gently. "Enough," he said. "Let her parents be brought before us." Moments later, Chief Odom and Felicia were summoned into the palace courtyard. As they stepped forward, the weight in the air was heavy, almost suffocating. Everyone present could feel that a turning point had arrived. The king looked directly at Chief Odom. "Chief Odom Ibiku," he said, "are these two young women your daughters?" "Yes, my king," Chief Odom replied respectfully. "They are my daughters." The king nodded slowly, then continued. "First of all, let me congratulate you in advance. You have raised good daughters. Your children have emerged as the top two candidates for the position of princess. Whatever happens today, whether Nita or Zita is chosen, you will still stand before this land as the future queen's father." A low murmur passed through the palace. "But," the king added, his tone growing firmer, "it is because of this very reason that I called you here. Your daughters are both qualified, yet only one can be chosen." He paused and looked straight at Chief Odom. "Tell me, are you still married to both of their mothers?" "Yes, my king," Chief Odom answered. "I am still married to both." "Then why," the king asked calmly, "is only one wife standing here with you?" Chief Odom swallowed before replying. "They are both my beloved daughters," he said. "I love their mothers equally, and I still do. Even though Alice is not present, Felicia, my first wife, has always stood as a mother to both girls. She raised them together, without division." Felicia lowered her head, tears already gathering in her eyes. The king listened carefully, then straightened on his throne. "I have heard enough." Silence fell instantly. With due consultation and after examining the qualities and conduct of both Nita and Zita, the king declared, "I, the king of Egbejo, hereby announce Zita Odom Ibiku as the princess of Egbejo and the future queen of this kingdom." The words landed like thunder. The king raised his hand again before anyone could react. "This decision is not because Nita is unqualified," he continued, "but because of her mother's situation. According to the laws of this land, the mother of a future queen must still be in recognized marriage, dead or alive. Due to the circumstances surrounding Alice's banishment, the daughter of a banished woman cannot ascend the throne as queen." A heavy silence followed. Whispers soon broke out across the palace. "This is unfair," some murmured. "She did nothing wrong," others said. "If not for her mother, she would have won." Nita stood frozen. Her eyes filled with tears, sorrow pouring out of them silently. The prince watched her, his heart tightening as her shoulders shook. Then the king turned to her. "Nita," he asked gently, "do you have anything to say before you leave?" Nita lifted her head. Her voice was broken, yet steady. "I have many things to say, my king," she said, "but I will ask only 3 questions." She turned first to the king and the elders. "My first question is this: before I was allowed to compete for the position of princess, were you not aware that my mother had been banished from this land?" The elders shifted uneasily. "If you knew, and I know many of you did, why then did you allow me to compete? Why was I chosen again and again, qualified again and again, until I reached the top 2? Her voice trembled. "Why was my mother's past only used against me now?" No one answered. Even the king remained silent. Nita then turned to the prince. "My prince," she said softly, "this is my second question. If your late mother had committed a crime and was banished, and you were later denied the throne because of her actions, would you consider that a fair judgment on your life as a human being?" The prince swallowed hard and shook his head. "No, Nita," he said quietly. "I would not. The crime would be hers, not mine." Nita nodded slowly and turned back to them all. "Today, you have made me suffer not because I did wrong, but because my mother was judged evil. I pray the gods do not give me a chance to hold power over you all, because if they do, I will repay this pain with the same coin. She bowed slightly. Thank you, my king, for your decision. With tears streaming down her face, Nita turned and ran out of the palace, disappearing down the village path toward home. No one spoke. The palace felt empty, even with everyone present. Zita turned slowly to her father, unable to speak. Felicia wiped her tears. The elders avoided one another's eyes. It felt wrong. It felt heavy. It felt like mourning. But the king's word was law. Breaking the silence, the king finally spoke again. The official marriage rites shall take place in 21 days, he decreed. Within this period, everything the chosen princess and her family require shall be provided by the palace. Chief Odom bowed deeply. Thank you, my king, he said, but his voice carried no joy. And so Chief Odom, Felicia, and Zita walked back home in silence, their steps slow, their hearts heavy, as though someone had died. To be continued. Polygamy, Part
Please,
37.
you have to believe
Chief
me.
Odom,
It's
Felicia,
not what you
and
think.
Zita walked home that afternoon in deep silence. Their steps were slow, heavy, as though each footfall carried a burden too painful to speak aloud. It was not that they did not want Zita to be chosen, no parent would reject such honor for their child, but the joy felt incomplete, broken. A child had been wounded. And wounds caused by circumstances one did not create cut deeper than any blade. Felicia's heart ached. She knew what rejection felt like. She knew the look in Nita's eyes when they left the palace, eyes that had lost hope in a single moment. Chief Odom said nothing, but the tightness in his jaw betrayed him. A father's heart does not choose between children, it bleeds for all. Meanwhile, Nita had already run back to the one place she believed would never judge her, Alice. She burst into the hut, collapsing into her mother's arms. "Mommy," she cried uncontrollably. "I was good enough, I swear. I did everything right. I competed. I was winning. They loved me, but they rejected me because they said you were banished." Those words hit Alice like fire. Banished. Humiliated. Disqualified. Her face darkened, her body stiffened, and a dangerous calm settled over her. "They dared," Alice said slowly, her voice shaking with rage. "They dared to humiliate my child, the only thing I am living for. They dared to make you feel less than you are because of me." She clenched her fist. "The battle line has been drawn," she continued. "And this time, it will not end in tears. It will be bloody." Back at Chief Odom's compound, he and Felicia walked to Nita's door. They knocked again and again, calling her name, pleading softly. "Nita, my daughter, please come out," Felicia cried. "Let us talk. Please." There was silence at first. Then Nita's voice came from inside, cold and sharp. "You and your favorite wife should go away," she said. "The same way you treated my mother as nothing, you have now exposed me to the world and treated me worse than an orphan." Felicia's heart shattered. "I don't want to talk to either of you," Nita added. "Leave me alone." They waited for a long time, hoping she would change her mind. She never did. With broken hearts, Chief Odom and Felicia returned to their rooms. That evening, messengers arrived from the palace, bearing gifts as promised by the king, rich wrappers, coral beads, goats, foodstuffs, and many other items fit for royalty. It was now official, Zita was to begin living and dressing as a princess. Zita stood quietly as the gifts were unloaded. She smiled, but her smile did not reach her eyes. Each time she glanced at Nita's hut, a cold fear gripped her heart. She knew her sister. She knew how deep Nita's wounds could go. Nita sat in front of her hut, watching the celebration with burning fury in her eyes. She could not bear it. She ran back inside, tears streaming down her face, and collapsed into Alice's arms again. "Mommy, I am hurt," she sobbed. "I feel betrayed. I feel broken." Alice wiped her tears gently. "My daughter," she said calmly, "I told you I have everything under control. I knew something like this could happen. That is why we went one step ahead of them." She smiled faintly, an unsettling smile. "Let them rejoice," she added. "Their happiness will not last long." Back at the palace, the prince sat alone in his chambers, troubled. His heart refused to settle. "Why do I feel this bad for Nita?" he asked himself. "Is it guilt, or is it something more?" He sighed deeply. "Zita is a perfect choice too," he told himself. "She is calm, gentle, and pure. She will make a good wife and a good queen." Slowly, he convinced himself to move on with the king's decision. Across Egbejo village, the news spread quickly. The Odam family was now addressed with greater respect. People bowed when they passed. Greetings became deeper, voices more respectful. Felicia, however, remained grounded. She held Zita's hands one evening and spoke gently. "My daughter," she said, "do not let praise enter your head. Do not be carried away by gifts or honor. Focus on being a good woman, a good wife to the prince, and a good queen to this kingdom." Zita nodded, but her heart was uneasy. Because somewhere in the shadows, pain was turning into something far more dangerous. To be continued.